Hey y'all, and thanks for coming with me on another hair journey. I'm here with Ivan, and he is serving some serious Quicksilver vibes right now, but we're going to switch it up and do a buzz cut hair painting design. I'm super excited, and here's a little sneak peek at what we'll be doing today. So to get started, I already did his haircut, and right now I'm applying Progress Lightener and Tolerance by Davines with 20 volume and Olaplex. Now, Tolerance and Progress together create a dermatologist-tested blend that is safe for the scalp, especially with applications like this where you might be doing it twice. It's really important to maintain the integrity of your client's hair, but also their skin. You don't want them to feel any abrasiveness or soreness when they're getting lightened. So this is a great way to lift at least 5 levels and still get the safety that you need from lightening. I'm just fully saturating. I'm using my Framar brush that I'm using to comb through all of this lightener, make sure it's fully saturated. And I'm going to be using plastic to cover his head just because I want to watch what it does since this is our first time together. I really just want to see how his hair reacts to the lightener mixture. Now this mixture is going to sit on his head for about 20 minutes and then we're going to rinse out. I did decide to go in a second time after rinsing him with the same Progress and Tolerance mixture and 20 volume, just so we can break through that level 6-7 that he has going on. I want him to be at least an 8 before I pre-tone and start the design. And again, this is a great mixture to use when you're doing multiple on-scalp services, because he's really, the whole time I was asking him how he was feeling, if he was okay, because I am a super anxious person and just want to make sure that everyone's feeling good. And he said that he had no issues or sensitivity to the lightener, so it's definitely doing its job. I'm also going to be covering him with foil this time, just so it can insulate a little better now that I know how his head and scalp is reacting to the lightener. So here I'm rinsing him out with lukewarm water. You don't want your water to be too hot, especially after doing an on-scalp lightening process, because they still might feel a little sensitive and that heat could definitely amplify their sensitivity. I'm using Evo's Fabuloso, which is a purple shampoo, just to break through any of that warmth brassiness that we have going on. But overall, I'm going to be using the warmth that you see to our benefit. So here I'm pre-toning him. I like to do a pre-tone before I put on fashion color. Not all the time, but most of the time, because it gives me that really good base where I won't actually have to mix up more of the fashion color in the bowl to make the color we want. It's kind of like a 2-part system. With this one, we're really just trying to have like an even overall rose gold. So here you'll see me starting up his design. Now normally I would be using a semi on him, but because I didn't have the black in stock, I decided to do permanent. It's Davines' Colorline Mask, and again, because he has short hair and this is something that would get shaved right off in a couple weeks, I wasn't afraid of using permanent on top of the demi. So we're just getting this design, and he did give me a little bit of a photo reference but said that I had full creative ability, so I'm just kind of winging it. Now, for those of you wondering, Daviness's mask line can be used as a toner, and to do so, you do a 1:2 ratio of mask to developer using 5 volume, and that's what you see me using here. It's cool to be able to see how, as the video goes on, you can see his color kind of processing and more of that like peachy color coming through. But as every demi is, you gotta trust the process. They can be a little scary sometimes, but at the end of the day, you know what you mixed, so that will be your goal. We also did some design on the side of his head. Now out of the whole process, this was the one that gave me like the most anxiety because I wanted it to be perfectly symmetrical. So starting the one side was easy, and then what I did was turned him so that way I could see the side that I already did in the mirror, and then tried to recreate what I saw on the other side of his head. So, well, little tip for anyone trying this out there, but definitely a little nerve-wracking when you're using the blackest of black on someone's head. Now, once everything was processed, I rinsed them out, and this is the pre-tone base that I wanted. Nice and rose goldy, heavy on the gold side, but that's great because now we are going to put the pink fashion color on top. Now, the mixture that I used was Cupid and blush by Pulp Riot. And a little bit of conditioner because I wanted to dilute it down. I didn't necessarily want it to be like a perfectly vibrant pink. Just enough of a blush to give it that pink tone. And same thing, I'm using my Fermar brush to comb through, make sure that everything's evenly distributed, but you do want to be careful when applying Pulp Riot to the head. I've noticed that if you overwork the color, it just kind of foams up and then doesn't actually put the pigment into the hair. So be sure not to overwork it too much, but definitely make sure it's fully saturated. With short hair like this, it's a lot easier than when hair's longer and you really got to work it through, but we made it happen anyway. Now we're rinsing out. It is so important to make sure that you are using cold water. If you use warm water, you run the risk of pulling out all of that color that you just applied, and in turn, the color won't last very long. So cool water will seal the cuticle and you'll have more vibrant color for a longer period of time. This is also a really good way to wake your client up after a long session. And here we are. This is the finished product. I'm so happy with how it came out. It looks so good. He was super happy with it too, and I definitely want to do some more designs like this, so we'll see you in the future, and thank you for joining me on another color journey. Bye.